What's up, guys? Before we jump into today's reading, I wanted to give a quick shout out. If you would like to skip this, you can go ahead and go to the timestamps below. So the Spiritual Goodies team has been sending me their monthly subscription boxes to share with you guys for free, which I just think is really, really sweet and very nice of them. They have a monthly subscription box service where you get different spiritual items in a box each month. Each month is a different theme and comes with an instruction manual on what each item is in the box in case you don't know, and the different things that you can do with it and how to use it. I also got a discount code that she gave me to share with you guys for $10 off your first month subscription at their website if any of you guys are interested, but it's completely up to you. I'm not getting paid anything to tell you this. It's just she gives me a box and I appreciate it, and I show my appreciation by sharing this with you guys. So it's completely up to you, so don't feel pressured, but I do feel like her boxes are more on the affordable end, so they're not as expensive as some other boxes I've looked into getting in the past. But each box has a different theme each month. So this past theme was a theme on tarot and divination, so a lot of the items dealt with tarot and divination. So I got a tarot card deck. That candle, by the way, smells freaking insane, you guys. Like, that candle smells so freaking good. But yeah, if you guys are interested, just check out the description below. I'll leave all of the information down there. I know that some of you guys that have gotten the box have had great experiences so far, and let's get into the video. What is up, my spiritual weirdo fam, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Tani Michelle, and basically I am just another spiritual ass bitch here on the internet doing astrology and tarot videos and other cool videos. So if that's your vibe, if that's your jam, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below and join our little weirdo fam that we have going on over here. So basically, in today's video, we are talking all about your love life and the different things that may happen over the next few months while Venus is in her retrograde cycle. She has already started her retrograde cycle. It technically starts before she retrogrades, okay? But we were in the shadow period. Now we are actually in the retrograde period. So many things happen with Venus retrograde. I'm going to talk about Venus retrograde and what it means in general here in a second. So if you would like to listen to that to get more information on how this Venus retrograde may affect all of us on a collective scale, then I would suggest listening to that. But if you would not like to listen to that, and if you would just like to skip to your pile, that is fine too. This is pile number 1 with the Faith Stone. This is pile number 2 with the Harmony Stone. This is pile number 3 with the Love Stone. This is pile number 4 with the Dream Stone. So yeah, basically this reading is just going to be to see what events may come up in your love life, but also just in your regular life over the next couple months with Venus retrograde. I'm going to try to make it for everybody. So if you would like to go ahead and pick your pile and fast forward to your reading, the timestamps will be down below. But for those of you that would like to hear more about Venus retrograde and this Venus retrograde and what this Venus retrograde will be like for the collective and all of us, then go ahead and keep watching. Okay, so Venus retrogrades about every 18 to 19 months or so. Okay, so it retrogrades least out of any other planet in the sky. This retrograde period and cycle, the whole complete cycle will end towards the end of July, but the actual retrograde, which means Venus kind of appearing to move backward in the sky, Venus actually moving backwards in the sky, will only last for about a month or so. So the last Venus retrograde in Gemini that we had was in May 2012. So if you want to think back to your personal life then and what was going on in your personal life, or maybe what was going on in the world, if you can remember, you may get some clues as to what similar situations or themes could come up around this Venus retrograde for you in your personal life. Also, you want to kind of pay attention to what's been happening for you since Venus basically moved into the sign of Gemini. It's been about a month now, I believe, maybe a little over a month. So if you want to think about what's been going on in your life the past month, Venus is the ruler of Taurus and Libra. Okay, so if you have anything in Taurus and Libra, those planets may become a little bit more active around this time. Also, wherever you have Taurus and Libra in your chart, you could see Venus retrograde kind of playing out through those areas in your chart as well. The planet of Venus really stands for love, relationships, and just relation in general, how we relate to others, passion, attraction, romance, feminine energy, who and what you're attracted to and why, the different types of pleasures that we enjoy, our social life and our social skills, how affectionate you are as a person. Venus kind of rules all of these things. Also, what you consider beauty and beautiful. Venus also rules over money and luxury because she rules over pleasure, and that also includes spending as well. Venus also rules creativity, our wants, and just creation in general. She also rules art and what we give worth and value to, and also our own self-worth and our own appearance and the way that we kind of look at each other, or what we, like I said, it goes into like what we see as beauty. So now we need to understand what Gemini is so we can kind of put these archetypes together and realize what themes may happen here. Since Venus is retrograding in Gemini, Gemini as a sign is ruled by Mercury, okay? And Mercury is the messenger, the communicator. Mercury is neutral. Mercury is neither feminine or masculine. It can play either role. Now, Gemini as a sign also rules those themes of communication, the messenger, also duality, because Gemini, is the twin. There's kind of this duality theme that we see with Gemini. Gemini also rules logic, facts, the mind, curiosity. Geminis are problem solvers. They're very versatile. They're like a jack of all trades. And Gemini also rules ideas. Now, the kind of like less evolved aspects, you could say, of Gemini are gossip, trickery, lies, or making up stories, getting in other people's business, changing their minds easily, indecisiveness. So these kind of things, and also like flakiness. So these kind of things can come up with Gemini. So we do have to be careful with Venus here because it can increase a level of like gossip and rumors and a lot of things that are not true. And since we're dealing with such a technical sign, we're looking at this on like a technical level too of basically technology, right? So there could be a lot of things and rumors that come out through technology, through media, things like that. We may somewhat find pleasure in gossip and, just kind of these like, things that aren't the healthiest. And if you are getting sucked into that kind of thing, you may want to ask yourself, like, why am I getting sucked into it? Especially if you're into spirituality and stuff and you want to work on yourself, or you do work on yourself, then you may want to ask yourself, like, why am I getting joy out of this? Like, why am I getting pleasure out of this? And that's what Venus retrograde is all about anyway. We kind of go back and reevaluate what brings us pleasure and what doesn't, what brings us love, harmony, and peace, and what doesn't, what makes us feel good and attractive and beautiful, and what doesn't. These are kind of themes that we're going to see. Now, if you have your sun or any other important placements in mutable signs, which are Gemini, Virgo, Pisces, and Sagittarius, then you may be feeling this retrograde a little bit more than other people because Gemini is a mutable sign, so it aspects the rest of the mutable signs. If you have anything in air signs, so Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, then that creates a more easier flowing aspect, which we call a trine. It can be very beneficial and may create a lot of growth for you. So it just really depends on your own chart. You can't just go based off just one of those things. You kind of have to look at the whole picture. So you also may want to look at Mercury in your chart because Mercury is the ruler of Gemini, where Venus is retrograding. So Venus is retrograding in Mercury's home. You can look at Mercury and see where Mercury is at in your chart, and also where Gemini is at in your chart. So you can see what house Gemini is in for you, because that's the house Venus is going to be retrograding in. So that's where the Venus retrograde themes are going to play out the most for you. And then also where Mercury is at, because Mercury rules whatever house you have Gemini in. So it may play out through the sign that you have Mercury in and the house that you have Mercury in as well. So you definitely want to pay attention to those themes, and those are little things you can look at to get a better idea of how this Venus retrograde is going to personally play out for you and your chart. Venus basically shows us where change needs to happen in our love lives, our romances, our relationships, our creative and monetary sectors of life. And Venus retrograde really has the power to make or break certain relationships, connections, ventures, things of this nature. But it also has the power to bring closure, reconnection, reconciliation. It has the power to transform love into something new or something that's no longer going to work. It can bring new love, it can bring old love, and sometimes it can cause breakups or separations, okay? I've experienced kind of all ends of the spectrum with Venus retrograde. You know, if there's a relationship in your life that is just hasn't been working out for a while, this is where you kind of, you know, would need to think about possibly the Venus retrograde kind of ending things for good. But then I've also seen it bring people back together. So it just really depends on your situation, your own chart. If you know if there's something else that needs to be learned there through that connection, through that relationship, and all of that. So, but that's why we're doing the pick a card. All right, so Venus retrograde is like a rebalancing of the Venusian areas of our lives. So the things that I've said that Venus rules, so love, relationships, connections, pleasure, money, creativity, you know, all of these different things. So it's like a rebalancing of those areas wherever it needs rebalancing. So that's why it's kind of hard to tell, and it really depends on your own personal situation and chart and all of that. But, you know, I do feel like, you know, with that Gemini archetype and then this Venus archetype, and, you know, when a planet starts retrograding, it brings some delays. It makes us go back and reflect. It really pulls us a little bit more inward and causes us to re-examine a lot of things in that area of life. And so I really feel like this is bringing up, you know, a duality between our hearts with Venus and then our minds with that Gemini energy. Here's some things that I do feel like we may be seeing with this Venus retrograde. I would definitely say to watch your spending, because Gemini can be such a shifty sign and all over the place. It may be very easy to feel like you want to spend money randomly, or to distract yourself, or because everything seems shiny and new and piques your curiosity and interest, you know. Now is not the time to make huge purchases. I will say that it's not the time to make like big luxurious purchases, because just like a Mercury retrograde, things aren't 100% clear when a planet is retrograde. And since Venus rules money, and if we go and make a big purchase with Venus in retrograde, there may be some things that we didn't see. And this Venus retrograde is aspecting Neptune. It's a hard aspect to Neptune that we call a square, and it's aspecting Neptune in Pisces. And so this adds this kind of unrealistic, almost fogginess and delusion to this retrograde that we're going to see. So nothing's really clear yet. Okay, so I definitely would kind of watch your spending if you can, be very smart about it. Venus in Gemini also doesn't like stagnant energy. Okay, so Venus retrograde is going to show us where things have maybe gotten stale or boring or stagnant in our relationships, our connections, our creative ventures, you know. And Venus in Gemini is also very flirty and seeks new experiences and information. So you may find yourself getting flirted with a lot, or you may find yourself being super flirtatious. You may find yourself wanting to sign up for dating sites, or, you know, meet new people. It doesn't just have to be romantic. It can be just friendships and connections as well, with Gemini energy and also with Venus energy. But it's definitely a very flirtatious energy, and also a very humorous and curious energy. It's also very social and finds pleasure in connecting with others, like I was just kind of saying. But with Venus retrograde, we do need to be careful that we aren't comparing ourselves to others in an unhealthy way, okay? Just because of that Neptune aspect and that, you know, Gemini energy, there can, you know, we could be comparing ourselves to others. And because of that Neptune energy, our perception of reality involving our connections with others, you know, whether online or verbally or in person, whatever, are not 100% clear right now. Our perceptions are kind of foggy right now. And our ideas about relationships, love, what we want, money, you know, creative ventures are all kind of not 100% clear at the moment. But I do believe that this retrograde is going to help us get clear on those things. So also any behaviors that relate to these areas could come up for you to address and take a look at. And it's probably not a good idea to start a new relationship during this retrograde, okay? It's fine for meeting new people, getting to know people, but I wouldn't hop in or get too serious about a relationship just yet. I would wait till after the retrograde That way, you know, everything is clear by then and you're not like, oh shit, this is not who I thought they were. What was I thinking? Whatever the case may be. But I mean, you do what you do you. It's all a lesson anyway. So yeah, we are re-examining how we view love and connection, okay? Friendship even, and also value, intimacy, pleasure, our ideas about love, harmony, creativity, money, you know, all of these different things. Venus in Gemini also values communication. Okay, it really, really values communication. So it's very important that you are communicating with your partner or with the people in your life, but in a very honest way. Try not to make it all about you or very like gossipy or over dramatized or anything like that. It's just very important that you're clear. And I think what this retrograde is going to do for a lot of people is help people get clear on what they want and align people's hearts and minds. I really do think that. So Venus may bring up some old conversations, situations, interests, hobbies, connections, friends, or relationships, or even love interest, okay? For us to kind of reconcile or get some kind of closure or new understanding of these situations. Venus in Gemini is kind of like Pandora's box in a way, because if she wouldn't have opened the box, she would have still been curious about opening the box. That's kind of how I think about it. And that's kind of what Venus in Gemini is. It's kind of like it has to explore. It has to be curious about things. It has to kind of learn that lesson, if that makes sense. Venus retrograde in Gemini, I think, will also show us the duality within ourselves and within our relationships as well. And like I was saying, you know, this can kind of make or break something. So that is basically everything I have to say on Venus and Gemini, Venus retrograde in Gemini. I do want to say one more thing really quick. So another theme with Venus retrogrades in general is that this can be a time where we start questioning ourselves, our own self-worth, our own self-value. We can sometimes feel just unloved or unappreciated or just not very confident in ourselves. And that really starts this kind of cycle of digging deeper within yourself to find that self-love, to find that self-confidence. So I do think that by the end of the retrograde, you will have realized that if you are feeling that way. Because I know I've been feeling that way personally, and it's just been kind of building over the last couple weeks, but especially like this past week. It is really kind of, you know, a period of going within and finding your own value, finding your own worth, finding your own confidence, and coming out of it that much more sure of yourself and that much more sure of what you deserve and your value and all of that. So if you've seen any of these themes in your life so far, let me know down below. Or if you've, you know, if you end up seeing any of these themes in your life, let me know down below. I'd love to hear about it. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into it. We're going to start with pile number 1. You can go ahead and click your timestamp down below to skip to your reading, and let's get into it. What's up, pile number 1? This is for those of you that picked the first pile with the Faith Stone. So let's go ahead and get into your reading and see how this Venus retrograde is going to affect you over the next month or so, or couple months actually, and what is going to happen in your life. So the first thing that I'm kind of getting with the Faith Stone is that you guys may be going through a situation in which this Venus retrograde may kind of test your faith, whether it's in your relationship, whether it's your faith within yourself, whether it's your faith within a certain creative endeavor or project or something that you've been working on, whether it's your faith within a certain job. Just somewhere in your life, this Venus retrograde may really be testing your faith in a certain situation, okay? And I feel for some of you, this is getting tested because you may have put too much faith in a situation that either didn't deserve it, or it may have been just very blind faith, and something may not be working out the way that you thought it was because you didn't see it for what it was, or you ignored some kind of signs, is what I'm getting here. And for others of you, this is because there's something from the past, or there's something that is kind of coming back around for you to take a second look at. in order to gain some kind of closure. So let's go ahead and see what your first few cards are, and then we will move on. Okay, so the first card that you guys have, pile number 1, is the Knight of Cups. The second card you guys have is the Four of Pentacles. You guys also have the Two of Pentacles, and you have the Page of Wands. Okay, so with the Knight of Cups and the Four of Pentacles, I can really see how your faith is being tested here. So there's something that you really wanted emotionally. There's something that you really dreamed of emotionally. This could be a person, a certain passion, a creative thing, venture, something along those lines. And you've been holding on to this because it really made you feel safe at one point. Like, this is like the epitome of like a comfort zone, like feeling comfortable, not wanting to move because you felt comfortable, and keeping your eyes closed to anything else that was trying to show you a different way or a different path. Okay. And also with the moon, like you can see like the clouds over the moon and her eyes are closed. Like, this is just kind of like that fogginess I was talking about just before when I was talking about what this Venus retrograde is kind of bringing up. And there's kind of this, you've kind of been ignoring the signs, I feel. Okay, and I hate to say that, but there's something that you haven't been seeing clearly. Okay, now I'm not saying like if you're in a relationship it's gonna be donezo or anything like that, so chill out if that's where your head's going. I'm not saying that, at least just yet. I mean, yeah, that could be a possibility for some of you. This is a general reading, but what I'm seeing here more than anything is that there's been something that you've been keeping your eyes shut to, but there's also something that you really want at the same time, but you've been not going for it. You've been like stuck in this comfort zone because it's safe, it's stable, it keeps you secure, okay? And also because of faith, because you have had faith in this one thing instead of having faith in yourself. And so what happened with this Two of Pentacles here, what is happening is you've created kind of like these two parts of yourself, this conflict within yourself, okay? Where this Venus retrograde in a very physical and material way is going to bring two options, two paths or something like that to the table, where you have to make a very physical decision on what it is that you want. With the Page of Wands, this is going to be about you finally exploring your own interest, your own endeavors, your own passions, what it is that you desire and what it is that you truly want, instead of keeping your eyes shut and staying in this comfort zone. You're kind of almost like being forced to face yourself and to kind of connect possibly with other people and to explore new options and to explore your own wants, needs, instincts, and desires, because you're not going to be able to just kind of keep your eyes shut anymore. So far what I see here is that this Venus retrograde is somehow opening you up to a new option, to it's like opening the gateway of this conflict that you've been keeping your eyes shut to within yourself, where you're going to have to kind of weigh out this decision to bring harmony and balance back into your life by focusing more on your own wants, your own desires, your own passions, your own interests. And also I really feel like connecting with other people as well. Possibly like instead of doing for others so much, like maybe receiving from others a little bit more. I'm also getting here for pile number 1. Okay, and also you're going to be able to see, because she has this, whatever this is in her hand, with smoke coming out. And like I said, things are like really smoky here. So it's kind of like you're going to be able to clear the smoke. It's going to make things a lot more clear to you. But another thing that I'm getting here is to make sure that you are being honest with yourself and honest with other people about what you're doing or how you're feeling or whatever the case may be. Make sure that you are not that you are not giving people bullshit, basically, that you're not bullshitting people and that you're not bullshitting yourself. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing here so far, pile number 1. Let's go ahead and move on to your next cards. Wow. Okay, so the next card that you guys have is the Golden Egg, and this is for your energy during this Venus retrograde season. Okay, and then the next card that we have here is the Oyster. So this is for the energy like opposing you, or the energy of whoever it is that you may be dealing with, if you are dealing with another person during this Venus retrograde. Okay, so it's funny because pile number one, both of these cards are about unlocking your deepest desires, about keeping your deepest desires hidden and within you. So we'll start with the Golden Egg. This is all about your heart chakra, the center of your heart chakra, your connection to spirit, what it is that you desire from the bottom of your heart, and really getting down to it, really getting in a calm, still, quiet place where you can find what it is that you truly want and what it is that you truly desire during this Venus retrograde. Now, the oyster is kind of about the same thing, right? And the oyster can clam up, it can be somewhat secretive, and it can keep the pearl inside of the oyster. So this could also be your energy, right? Like I said, this could either be the energy you're dealing with, whether it's with you, if you're not dealing with like a relationship. And we do have this kind of duality here, this kind of opposition here with this Two of Pentacles. So, or this could be your partner. Maybe your partner is also kind of stuck in this comfort zone and not expressing how they really feel, or they're being a little bit more internal right now. They're clamming up a little bit. They're not being as expressive towards you as they usually are in some way. So it could go either way, just it could relate differently for different ones of you. Okay, so the next card that you guys have is the Monk/Nun, and it is reversed. So we're going to read the shadow attributes. Negative judgment of the physical world, excess piety. So, and this is kind of for your guys' energy. Now, for some of you, it could be a little bit mixed up, like maybe you're one side and your partner's the other side. Whatever, it's going to be different for different ones of you. But yeah, maybe you've been kind of stuck in this comfort zone because you judge your own self, or you judge your ambitions, or whatever it is that you want to do because of a certain way you were raised, or certain beliefs that are stuck in your head from society. Okay, but the light attribute is selfless devotion and single-minded dedication to spirit. So I kind of feel like you guys are probably really devoted people, but either to someone else or something else other than yourself. And that's kind of what Venus retrograde is going to bring up to you, how you've split yourself into two, because one part of you really wants to focus on you and your passions and your desires, but this other part of you is stuck in this comfort zone where you're not willing to see yourself and your own beauty, your own talents, your own power within, okay? Where you're too focused on someone else or a relationship or whatever the case may be. So this next card is basically either the person that you're dealing with, or just something else explaining you if you're single, okay? So we have the Mystic. It says, revels in intimate union with the divine, delusional report with the divine is the shadow attribute. So, okay. So either the person that you're dealing with, if you're in a relationship and dealing with someone else, could be a little bit flaky, or maybe just a little bit like very mystical, very go with the flow, and maybe they kind of make you feel a little bit unsure at times. Okay, but they are a huge comfort zone for you if you are dealing with another person. It's kind of a huge comfort zone for you, or you hold on to them because you're like, well, this person shares similar beliefs, or this person helps me to feel free, or helps me to feel more spiritual, or helps me to feel more alive, or they're just like a really beautiful soul, so I just want to like hold on to them forever. Or it could be the other way around, where they are like that with you, whatever the case may be. Now, if you're not in a relationship, this could just describe this kind of other part of you that's coming up here. So, okay, so your next card is Akasha. Your guidance is divinely guided. Wow, okay. Interesting. We also have Imrama. Where are you being called to journey to? See, you guys are about to embark on a new journey of self. a journey that is a lot more self-fulfilling for you, like almost like a mission, okay? Almost like a mission. And once again, like you're being divinely guided to this. You're being divinely guided to see the truth within yourself of who you really are and how beautiful that is, okay? And that's very, very important for you. For this Venus retrograde is to see, is to make the decision to do more for yourself, to make the decision to be there for yourself, okay? Some of you could be going back and forth about accepting some kind of opportunity, okay? And some of you guys could be going back and forth about, like, I just feel like this situation with some of you guys that you're like very devoted to someone, but they don't show you the same in return in some way, okay? And it's kind of holding you back. There's something here that's holding you back that has you kind of sitting in this like comfort zone because it's safe and it's comfortable and it's stable, or at least it feels that way. But obviously it's not if you have this desire for something else or something more. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Your next card is Beyond the Mind, the Heart Beats. Wow, so a lot of stuff coming up here about your heart as well, which is very interesting. So yeah, like I think that you guys need to follow your heart, and that maybe you're too stuck in your head. You're too stuck in your fears. You're too stuck in your comfort zone, that you can't even see your own talent. You can't even see your own gifts, like your own value. And that is what is kind of holding you back here. Okay, so moving on, you have the air element, communication. You also have Grand Trine, blessings. And you have 7th house, partners. Yeah, okay. So some of you guys could be starting to meet new people around this time. If you're like in a separation, or if you're single, or even if you're not single, but maybe you're just meeting new friends. I do feel that for some of you. Others of you that are in a partnership, it's important to be honest and to communicate, like I was saying before, okay? But this Venus retrograde is going to be very, very beneficial for you. It's going to clear your mind. It's going to help you get out of your comfort zone. It's going to help you open up, and it's going to basically be guiding for you. Like you're being divinely guided to follow your passion, to follow your instincts, to follow your heart, to follow what it is that you want to accomplish, the blessings that you want to receive. Now, some of you, I feel like maybe you've been having trouble with a particular job or an opportunity, and I think some of you guys actually may get some kind of call or some kind of blessing with that, okay? You guys may get some kind of opportunity, new opportunity to do something that you've wanted to do, or to do something that you love, or something along those lines. And others of you, I think you guys are somehow rekindling a relationship, but it's very important that you communicate, okay? It's very important that you communicate. I don't necessarily see like a breakup here. If anything, I see maybe like a pause or a break or a little bit of distance maybe, but not anything like necessarily permanent. It's more about getting in touch with you, getting in touch with what you want, okay? So moving on, you have the card Courage as well. You also have New Beginnings. Beautiful. So yeah, I mean, with Courage and New Beginnings, that goes perfectly. There is something like you're going to have to find the courage to kind of get out of this comfort zone, to like face these fears that you have, okay? And this Venus retrograde, I think, is going to give you that courage. It's going to help you find that inner confidence. It's going to spark that inner confidence for you to help you get on this path to new beginnings, okay? And it's going to kind of guide you through it, which is going to be really, really awesome for you guys, pile number one. It's going to show you like your worth, okay? And it's going to help you really connect to your heart and figure out what it is that you want, and lead you to new people, new connections, new opportunities, blessings. Like, this is really good, okay? So I don't want you guys freaking out. Okay, so we have new beginnings, Lastre. Not sure if I am pronouncing that right. And then we also have Ceridwen, potential. There you go. And that's what this is all about, pile number one, is finding your potential. Okay, like this Venus retrograde is showing you that you have new beginnings twice. Like, you're being called on a mission, on a journey, okay, on a journey of self, to figure out your value, to follow your passion, to follow your new ideas, your inventive and creative, your innovative and creative ideas, okay? But this Venus retrograde is really kind of helping you reflect and to make a decision to have faith within yourself in order for you to see your potential, which is going, for those of you in a relationship, it's going to make your partnership even better. Not to mention, you're going to be so much more happier and feel so much more yourself and so much more free. Okay, so I think this Venus retrograde is really bringing in a lot of new beginnings and potential for you, pile number one. Let me know down below if you end up relating to this reading and if it resonated. I'd love to know. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you would like more videos like these, please make sure to subscribe and turn your notifications on. And we're going to move on to pile number two. What's up, pile number two? This is for those of you that picked the second pile with the Harmony stone on it. So what I feel for this for you guys, pile number two, so far, without looking at your cards, just from the stone and intuitively, I think this Venus retrograde is definitely rebalancing something in your life, okay? I feel like for a while you guys have been possibly having some conflict in a certain area of your life, whether it's a relationship, a friendship, certain connections, a creative thing, some kind of venture, a job, money, whatever. There's been some kind of like opposition or some kind of even competition I'm getting, or even just some kind of like polarity where it's been feeling like there's just been some kind of like block or something that's not on the same page, okay? So this Venus retrograde, I think you guys may have been drawn to the Harmony card because right now it's important to bring things back into balance for you, where you feel more aligned. And I am also feeling like some of you guys are really questioning your purpose right now, or really questioning your future, your direction, where you're going at this time, or where you're going in your relationship, or where you're going in your job, or if you're on the right path. I'm getting like a lot of questions, like, am I on the right path? Like, is this going to work out? Is it not going to work out? Kind of thing. So let's go ahead and see what cards that you guys have for pile number two. Okay, so the first card that you guys have is the Knight of Swords. Beautiful card. So there's your conflict. Yup. And then the second card that we have is the Hanged Man. The next card you guys have is the High Priestess. Wow, so two major arcana cards so far. That's crazy. And then you guys also have the Moonchild card. Okay, cool. Right. Okay, so there's definitely some conflict, like I was saying. You're feeling stuck. There's a lot of being stuck in your mind, okay? Being stuck in your head, being stuck in your mind. For some of you guys, this could actually be a person you're dealing with the Knight of Swords here. Somebody that may be a little bit distant or very defensive, or somebody that may even be a little bit argumentative, or there may not be much communication at all. Communication may have came to a halt, or there just may be some kind of distance or detachment with this person if you're like in a relationship, or this could even be a friendship, or whatever the case may be. And I feel like you're questioning things with the High Priestess here. You're definitely questioning things. Now, I can tell you this is going to be a really badass retrograde for you guys. This is going to really enhance your intuition and your psychic gifts with Moonchild and High Priestess here, and even the Hanged Man. Like, this is helping you get out of your mind and to really feel more, to feel your way through things more. to help you to deal with your emotions more instead of constantly running around in your mind and going on this roller coaster. I don't know why, roller coaster just popped up. So maybe you're feeling like you're constantly going up and down, or maybe your emotions have been kind of up and down lately, or maybe your mind's just been all over the place. And some of you feel like you've been on a roller coaster with this person. I'm also feeling like this person may be very flaky. They may not be very reliable. And there's kind of like just this sense of being unsure. But this Venus retrograde is definitely bringing in a new perspective for you. It's helping you. So for those of you that are single and this isn't a person that you're dealing with, this Venus retrograde is going to help you integrate your mind and your emotions, like I was kind of talking about in the beginning when I was going over Venus retrograde in Gemini for the collective. This Venus retrograde is really going to help you integrate, because to me, the High Priestess is integration of two worlds, okay? And she's got the black pole, she's right in between the black pole and the white pole. And, you know, and that's kind of what I see here. You're gaining a new perspective on a situation. For those of you that are in a relationship, your perspective, your perception is changing on emotions, your wants, your desires, and what you want. So that's why you're kind of feeling this lack of balance right now, okay? Or you may be feeling somewhat stuck. And that's why you guys probably chose harmony, because there's this conflict inside of you between your heart and your mind. I'm also getting that some of you guys have a lot of fears that have been coming to the surface lately to do with love, or to do with whatever the case may be, some kind of area in your life. There's some kind of fears coming up here. I am also getting that you guys may go through a sense during Venus retrograde where you feel very vulnerable, you feel very alone. But this is the key. I don't want to say it like that. It's not the key, but this is the start. This is like the gateway that you will enter that is going to help you. This vulnerability that you feel is going to help you shed all of the bullshit that your mind tells you, or all of the different shit that your ego tells you, which is going to help you get to the power of who you truly are. Okay, it's going to show you how freaking powerful you are. Pile number 2. So be ready. Like, seriously, be ready. You may feel stuck right now, or you may feel very kind of like in between worlds right now, or in between going this way or that way, or should I stay or should I go, or should I do this or should I do that, or my heart wants one thing, my mind wants another. Whatever the case may be, there's this kind of theme here with being in between. Like, he's in between of this gateway, she's in between of these two trees, she's in between of these two poles, right? So there's just kind of this constant in between theme that's in your reading, and you're trying to kind of bring two sides together, two opposing sides together, not only within yourself, but maybe with something external to you as well. And it's been a real struggle for you. But I do see you doing this, integrating this by the end with Moonchild here. You are coming into who you're supposed to be. You're coming into who you really are. Okay? And you're not keeping things separate. You're not separating shit anymore. You're like, you know, I'm all of this, and that's just who I am. And this vulnerable part that you may feel, or that you may go through, some of you may have already started feeling it, whatever the case may be, is actually where you find your power. Because I don't know about you, there's a quote by Rami where it says, the cure for the pain is in the pain. And I have experienced that time and time and time again. Anytime like I feel like I am just going through, like I've been brought to my knees by my emotions, by my situation, by my reaction, whatever the case may be, and I just feel so alone or so vulnerable, so scared, and it sucks. I'm not gonna like sit here and act like it's like great, man, woohoo. Like, no, it sucks, trust me, and I'm sure you know. But through that, I come out and I'm like, nothing, I'm not scared of anything anymore, because I've allowed myself to feel that. I've allowed myself to go through it, and I come out knowing how strong I am, because I was able to make it through that, if that makes sense. And I allowed myself to shed all the bullshit like that I was trying to keep myself safe with, but that wasn't even true. That just kept me separated, if that makes sense. So anyways, let's move on to your next cards. Okay, so the card that you have for your Venus retrograde is the Whale. A lot of water energy. And the card that your either significant other, the person you're dealing with, or just the energy that's opposing you, whether it's internal or external, is the Owl. Oh my god, you guys, I can't. So I'm still learning this animal deck. I've been using it a lot, so I know a lot of them, but I never get the Whale. And so I was like, let me just look that up again, because I don't even know what the whale normally symbolizes. So, and I shit you not, you guys, let me read this to you. This goes with everything I was just saying. It says, the whale, desire to delve deeper, profound peace and ancient wisdom. The whale represents profound emotional health and stability. Whale personalities are not afraid of emotional expression or traversing difficult terrain, as they have overcome many challenges in their lives. These experiences have enriched them, given them stability, strength, and a depth that is rare. Whale energy is usually linked to the feminine forces of compassion and communication. We can depend on whale personalities when all else seems lost and trust them to be a beacon in our darkest hour. What was I just talking about with vulnerability? That's crazy. So when the whale's in balance, it is calm, steady, and deeply compassionate. When out of balance, heavy, slips into the old story. To bring into balance regular self-care. So yeah, that's going to be definitely important for you guys during this Venus retrograde, is to really practice self-care and to allow yourself to dive deep into your emotions. Allow yourself to feel any emotions or past situations that get brought up and express them. Do not suppress that shit. Do not fight that shit. Do not try to be like, oh no, I need to think positive. There's something wrong. I shouldn't feel this way. No, you're feeling that way for a reason. So don't try to suppress it. Like, feel it, let it out, express it, go with the flow, because that is what is going to bring you back into harmony and balance. That's what's going to help you integrate these deep emotions, these deep, raw, feminine energy type of emotions, because that is feminine energy, which you can be a man as well watching this. It doesn't matter. We all have feminine energy, but this is going to be a very feminine time for you guys. Like, and it's going to be very important that you feel it, okay? That you allow yourself to get out of your head, to surrender to your emotions and to your true, natural, instinctive, raw emotions, and not fight them. That is what is going to help you integrate and come back into alignment and harmony, to get out of your head and to basically integrate the situation, okay? And if you're dealing with a person that is bringing up really heavy, raw emotions for you, maybe you're going through a fight or a breakup or a separation or something, feeling this energy is what is going to get you through it quicker. You know, we always try to suppress it, distract ourselves because we don't want to feel the pain of a heartbreak, whatever, tell ourselves all this shit that we're better off without them, that, you know, and like, yeah, we probably are better off without them, but just, you know, certain things that we tell ourselves to try to, that we use as almost like defense mechanisms, you know what I mean? To not feel what we actually feel, because we feel like what we actually feel is bad, or, you know, it sucks, you know what I mean? So, but it's okay. Allow yourself to feel it, whatever it is. Now, this may not mean that if you're in a relationship that you're gonna go through a breakup, okay? For some of you, this could just be that maybe you don't express your emotions in the relationship, or you guys have become a little bit detached, or whatever the case may be, and it may be time to let yourself feel, okay? It's going to be different for different ones of you. Okay, so with the owl, I feel that for those of you that are single, this is this opposing force of being observant or watching other people, being unemotional, all that kind of stuff. It's also kind of, I'm getting like this shut off energy, or this distant energy, you know, because the owl kind of stays away. It's not a very social animal, if that makes sense, which goes very much so with this Knight of Swords of, you know, being a little bit more observant and a little bit less emotional, okay? Now, some of you guys could be dealing with somebody that's like this if you're in a relationship or whatever the case may be. There could be, this person could seem wise, like beyond their years. Maybe they're not very emotional, basically, or maybe they seem a little bit distant, or something like that. For some of you, this person could either just be kind of distant emotionally or socially, or they could actually be at a physical distance for some of you. But let's go ahead and draw your next cards and see what's going on here. Okay, so your next card is victim, prevents you from letting yourself be victimized or victimizing others. Okay, so this goes perfectly with everything we've already been talking about, pile number 2. You do not want to be a victim. Okay, so you kind of have put up these defenses, and that's why you're in this conflict. Like, you're almost scared to be vulnerable, or you're scared to feel or to let your emotions guide you. Okay, to let your emotions guide you. And so it's very important that you are not projecting this on other people. And you may be like, maybe you've been thinking like other people are acting this way, or you look at other people that act like a victim kind of in a judgmental way because you protect yourself from being a victim, because maybe at one point you were a victim in your past and you were like, never again, you know, or you went through something emotionally unsettling or painful and you were like, never again. But it's very, very important that you know, that you kind of break down this guard, that you surrender to how it is that you really feel instead of building barriers around yourself or closing yourself off, okay? So the next card that we have is Detective, great powers of observation and intuition, desire to seek out the truth. So this could be for your partner or just the opposing energy, just like the owl was. So, yeah, this person definitely seems like they are a lot more observant or investigative. If you're dealing with someone else, okay, they could even be maybe a little bit controlling, or they definitely are truth seekers, okay? Now, if this is you, if this is just another part of you, of your energy for this Venus retrograde, if you're single or whatever the case may be, you know, this could definitely be some shadow work that I see going on here, where it's getting to the truth of your emotions and being more aware of how you feel or how certain things are making you feel, if that makes sense. But there's definitely this kind of theme here with watching, because she's like looking through the book, through the hole in the book. The owl is all about observing. The Knight of Swords would be kind of like that detective or observer archetype as well. So there is kind of like a theme here with that. So this could be someone in your life or just this other part of you. Alrighty, so let's move on. Your next card is the Age of Light. You've been training for this for lifetimes. And then we also have the initiation, rite of passage, crossing the threshold. So yeah, you're definitely going through some kind of new initiation, some kind of new point in your life here, some kind of new, almost like gateway, okay, in your life here, where I think this Venus retrograde is going to bring up some things that you need to address in order to come back into harmony and balance within your own life, within other aspects of your life, whether it be a relationship, whether it be creative endeavors, whatever the case may be. There's definitely some things that need to be worked out here for you to kind of move forward. So you're kind of going back and reflecting on different things that you may have suppressed within yourself, okay? Alrighty, the next card that you guys have is Conscious Connections. So this is about being aware of the connections that you have, the connections that you make, being more aware of how they make you feel, okay? Being more aware of how you connect with other people, okay? Which once again goes into harmony as well, like we were talking about. There's like a lot of water in this reading because there's fish in these cards. We have the whale and all this like watery energy in your tarot cards as well. So yeah, I mean, this is kind of getting to know this this other part of you that maybe you've suppressed for a while, or you know, the part of you that needs to feel, that needs to express certain things. Now, you guys could also be meeting some important people during this transit, this Venus retrograde transit as well. But I do see you guys being a little bit more, going a little bit more inward, being a little bit more quiet, not necessarily socializing a whole lot. If you do meet some people, it's just probably going to be like a select few people in your life that may help you or say the right things at the right times, things like that. Yeah, you're definitely crossing this kind of threshold with this Venus retrograde, pile number 2. Okay, so the next card you guys have is the Earth element stability. You also have 9th house faith. And then we also have Uranus genius. Okay, wow. So this is definitely kind of shaking things up. It's kind of like a test of faith, which was kind of like what pile 1 was about as well, a little bit. So it definitely is like kind of testing your faith, but more within yourself and also your belief within yourself. This is also a very psychic reading, so I do feel like a lot of you guys will have visions, psychic gifts, things like that really kind of coming up during this Mercury retrograde. You guys may have like out-of-body experiences, astral projection experiences, dreams, visions, just things like that. You guys are definitely going to be tapped into higher realms here. You're definitely like taking off during this Venus retrograde, and doing a lot of self-exploration is really what I see here. You're doing a lot of self-exploration. This is like a huge awakening. Okay, this is definitely like a huge awakening. Some of you guys, this could have something to do or bring up something to do with your stability within a job or money, whatever the case may be. This could bring up some financial things that need to be reflected in this Venus retrograde as well. Some maybe even financial institutions or whatever the case may be that may need to be sorted out during this Venus retrograde. But you're definitely like connecting to this more intuitive, more psychic, more faith-based side of you. You're like connecting to your inner power basically. You're doing a lot of integration work, and it's going to help awaken you to like a whole nother level. It's just absolutely beautiful. So let's move on. Okay, so your next card is solitude. So yeah, I do see you guys spending a lot of time to yourselves. Like I was kind of saying before, spending a lot of time to yourselves, getting to know yourselves more, getting to know your own inner power, your own personal power more, being a little bit more observant, being a little bit more to yourself so you can really kind of understand yourself and find your love and worth from the inside and find your value from the inside and really tap into your own inner power and your own inner wisdom. And that is kind of what you're doing. Like you're really integrating these different parts of yourselves. For those of you that are in a relationship, I kind of feel like you're in a situation where you may be outgrowing this relationship for some of you, not all of you, but some of you, or you may just need some time to yourself, basically, to really kind of through this Venus retrograde, which is really going to help you find your power. Others of you, I feel like a lot of you that picked this pile are either recently single or recently separated or something, because just we have a lot of solitude stuff and it's like about finding personal power and all of that. So, and your own just inner wisdom, your own inner knowing, and being able to be more independent. So that's kind of what I feel here for a lot of you, but it is a general reading, so it's going to be different for different ones of you. Okay, so the next card that we have is Purification. Beautiful. Yes, that definitely goes with everything as well. You're just like going through this spiritual detox. You're going through this energetic detox, this psychic detox, where you're going to be so much more open, so much more integrated. And that's why it's so important for you to feel anything that comes up. Okay, for you to let yourself feel it, for you to let yourself sit in it for a little bit and to express it, whether that means crying, writing it out, whatever the case may be. Just don't shove it down. Don't try to distract yourself from it. Don't try to escape it or fight it in any way. That's what's important here. Okay, so your next card is adaptability. Awesome. Okay. So this definitely goes in with everything too, and I really feel like it goes with the whale, kind of like what we were talking about, like adapting to these different emotions, these different feelings, instead of being so in your head or so logical about things, if that makes sense. So I do think that really goes with everything as well. And then we have Isis, Rebirth, which is perfect as well. This is awesome. This is a great reading. So yeah, you're definitely going through some kind of rebirth, some kind of, I mean, you're going to see how powerful you really are through this transit. And it's actually like really beautiful, pile number 2. So you're coming back into harmony with yourself, with your internal self and your external self. You're learning how to express your true feelings, express your true self more, which is amazing. So that is what I'm getting for you guys, pile number 2. Let me know down below if any of this resonated. I love to know, as always. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Please make sure your notifications are turned on and that you hit the subscribe button if you would like to see more readings like this one. And we're going to move on to pile number 3. What's going on, pile number 3? This is for those of you that picked the third pile with the love stone on it. So let's go ahead and jump into your reading and see what is going on with you guys for this Venus retrograde. All right, Lego. Okay, so the first card that you guys have is the 6 of Cups. Awesome. And the next card that you guys have is the Devil. We also have the Death card, and we also have the 4 of Wands. Wow, this is interesting. I know it probably seems really shitty because we have the Devil and the Death card, but it ends with the 4 of Wands. So this is actually a really awesome reading, like a really, really awesome reading. Okay, so it may start off, your guys' Venus retrograde may start off a little bit rocky. It may seem very, very hard. It may bring up a lot of past fears, a lot of past situations, a lot of past things, okay? For those of you that picked this pile, you guys may get a lot of things coming back from the past, whether it's exes, past situations and relationships, secrets, you know, just any kind of toxicity, any kind of fears, any kind of shadowy aspects of a relationship. I do feel like this is majorly relationship based, but for some of you that aren't in a relationship or that are single, this could either just be someone from your past coming back around, or this could be your own, you know, your own stuff coming back up, your own shadow stuff coming back up. But it's coming back up to change you, okay? To change you and possibly whoever it involves, okay? If it involves another person, a relationship, whatever, it's coming back up to transform you. It's coming back up to help you come together, okay? To like almost kind of get some kind of closure or some kind of reconciliation, because it ends with the 4 of Wands. Okay, so this is like celebration. This is like, okay, like I see your side of it now, or thank God that's over, or, you know, this, because the 4 of Wands is like a celebration, a milestone, kind of like, you know, like look how far we've come. And that's kind of what I'm getting here. So there may be some kind of situation that really sucked from your past that is brought back up during this Venus retrograde in order to transform you and this whole situation, in order to transform, to bring about this beautiful kind of moment of, wow, look what we've been through, or, you know, look what I've been through, or look how far we've made it, or whatever the case may be, or thank God that's over. So this is definitely some kind of closure or reconciliation that this Venus retrograde is trying to kind of get you to see, that's trying to kind of bring into your life to help you move on, okay, to help you move on. So, I mean, this could be so many different situations, so many different scenarios. So this could be for those of you that are in a serious relationship. Maybe either someone else comes back from your past, that, you know, someone other than who you're in a relationship with, in order for you guys to reconnect and transform and grow through the experience you had in the past, and then have some kind of closure, and then, you know, whatever. Now, for others of you, this could be, you could be in a committed relationship, and this could be the person you're in a relationship with. You know, something comes back around from the past that transforms your relationship and helps you guys either come back together and reconcile, or maybe, you know, even move on. But it does seem like it ends with both sides on the same page. So that's what I like about this reading, is it's like, even if it deals with another person, I feel both of you will be on the same page by the time that it's over. Okay, it may not seem that way at first, or it may seem a little bit scary at first, okay? And it may take some time with the Death card here. Okay, the Death card is kind of like a slow transformation. It's like a slow kind of change, a slow kind of rebirth. It doesn't happen quick like the Tower. Okay, so just kind of keep that in mind. And for those of you that are single, you know, this could be situations coming up from your past, your own fears, whatever the case may be, that maybe even like shadowy parts that happen in childhood. For some of you, I feel that this is abandonment issues. This is fears of intimacy, fears of even sexuality issues for some of you. But this is coming back up so you can shed your skin and move on in a new way that's very that can be celebrated. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what your next cards have to say. Okay, so we have the Spider, and this should be your energy for those of you that are watching this video. And then we also have the Zebra, and this is more of either an opposing energy within yourself that this Venus retrograde is bringing up, or an external energy like the person that you're dealing with. Okay, so the Spider is normally about creativity and, you know, spinning the web. And basically what I see here, what I'm kind of getting from the Spider right now, is kind of like these different storylines. So, and also this protective layer maybe. So I definitely think this Venus retrograde for you guys that picked pile number 3 is going to be a huge blast from the past. It's going to have you also probably reevaluating your values when it comes to a relationship and what you want out of a relationship, okay? And also even creative projects, creative endeavors. Some of you guys could have a renewed spark in an old creative project, or something that you felt stuck in for a long time, whether it be a relationship, creative endeavor, whatever the case may be. And then for the Zebra here, the Zebra is very enthusiastic. It's about travel. It's about, you know, being a visionary, all of that. So I think that this person, okay, for some of you, this could be a new person you meet after a possible breakup or after some possible closure from the past, or even a person you reconnect with that's going to motivate you and possibly help you see a bigger vision of what it is that you can do, or even maybe help you travel, okay? Or be more in touch with other parts around the world, connect to other parts around the world. Now, for others of you, I feel that this could be, you know, someone new that you meet possibly after getting out of a situation that, you know, maybe you felt stuck in because that was your comfort zone. Now, another thing that I'm really picking up here, like I said, I'm kind of getting quite a few different scenarios with this particular situation. So, you know, this is a general reading, so I feel like many of you may have picked this pile because I am kind of getting a lot of different scenarios of how this could play out, or how this may be playing out. So another thing that I really am kind of getting here is boundaries, okay? You may need more boundaries, and you may have been trapped in some kind of emotion, situation, belief, fear, whatever the case may be. there's something in the past that has been keeping you stuck or making you feel trapped, and that is what you're transforming from. That is what, like, you're transcending from that experience with this Venus retrograde. This Venus retrograde is showing you that you have more options than you think that you do, pile number 3. And it's teaching you about what love truly is. And it's teaching you how to love yourself, okay? And how to face the fears within yourself and how to kind of get unstuck. Because I feel like for some of you, you've been in a situation for a while where you've been feeling almost trapped in some way. Or you've been feeling like you're not in control in some way. And so this Venus retrograde is going to help you transcend that experience. It's going to help you transform that experience, and it's going to create a whole new time for you where you are feeling more secure and stable, and you see all the different options that you actually have. You see the potential through a new lens. Okay, so the next card we have is the Samaritan reverse, which would be the shadow attribute. So it says exacting appreciation and recognition for the help that you offer. So for some of you, there could be an issue where, like I said, kind of like boundaries, where you may have been feeling very unappreciated, or like I said, very much so like you don't have control. Okay, and this could be related to this situation in the past for some of you, if this is a situation in the past. But either way, it's almost feeling like just unappreciated. And so maybe you're transforming the way that you perceive the situation, because really you're keeping yourself stuck. Like if you're giving a lot to people, and it's creating a toxic environment, you're not creating boundaries for yourself, it's not those people that you're giving to that are the problem. The problem is you that keeps giving and expecting them to appreciate you when they've shown you that they haven't, if that makes sense. That's the problem. So that's something to kind of keep in mind. Like, and this is another thing I'm getting here, like this kind of feeling of maybe doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results as well. The next card we have is Shapeshifter. Now this could be for the energy that is opposing you within yourself that Venus retrograde is bringing up, or for a relationship, if you're in a relationship, or another person that you're dealing with during this Venus retrograde. So they have this Shapeshifter, or this other energy is the Shapeshifter, which is projecting any image that serves your personal agenda in the moment. Okay, so yeah, I mean, this could, if this is for you guys, then you guys maybe haven't been being true to yourselves, or you've been staying in a situation and projecting that maybe you're happy when you're not, or something along those lines. Or if this is another person, then they may be doing that. They may be projecting an image that serves their own agenda in the moment, or they may be like only worried about themselves lately, or something along those lines. But with this shapeshifter energy, the light attributes are about, you know, seeing the potential in everything. And that's kind of what this zebra energy is. So I do feel like this could be the same person for a lot of you, where maybe, you know, they help you see things. And I think that's why there's this connection there. They help you kind of either learn things or see things in a new way. They help you look at things in a new way. But also there may be something going on right now where it's kind of like an unsure situation for some of you, if this is another person you're dealing with. Whoops. So the next card that you guys have is Inner Trust. Very interesting. And that really goes with what we've been talking about here, is to really kind of trust yourself within. What true love is, you know, love lets go. And I think that a lot of you are like, have been really trying to, because you feel like you don't have control, you've been trying to gain control. Okay, because it's like there's been this issue with trusting within yourself, or even trusting within another person. And so you've been really trying to regain control in something in your life. whether it be a relationship or a career, creative project, you know, depending on your different situations. And it's been really kind of affecting you, you know, it's been really kind of bringing you down and making you feel even more stuck. And that's because you only have control over the way that you react to the situation. And so it's very important that you let go. You know, it's very important that you don't keep staying stuck in the past or reliving the past or trying to keep giving something your all but not getting much in return, if that makes sense. So this Venus retrograde is definitely teaching you about inner trust, inner love, all of that. Your next card is Dance with Life. Do something to change your energy. Okay, so yeah, I definitely get like a sense that you guys need to like do something. You guys need to be more physical, you know, maybe dance, maybe do some kind of yoga, maybe get out, go for walks. Like, it's really time for you to get more physical. Listen to your favorite music. Like, she's dancing, you know, they're kind of almost look like they're dancing in a way. So maybe dance is really significant for some of you guys, or it will be very significant for some of you guys. It really does shift your energy. You know, and Dance with Life, I really see that once again as like letting go and going with the flow of life instead of like going against it, because that's how we get in this devil energy. We go against it and we put our power in something outside of us, you know, because we blame other people or we tell other people they're responsible for how we feel or only they can fix our problems. And that's giving our power away. That's telling them that they have the power to fix us and we don't, when we actually do. And that's actually a huge theme here I see here with inner trust for you guys. If there's been some kind of like issue in the past that you've blamed other people for, or that you've given your power away to them for, take your power back. You are the only person that can heal you. Like, if you get cut, a doctor can come and stitch you up, yeah, but your body is the one that does the healing. Your body heals itself on its own. So don't let other people take your power. Don't give your power to other people. And that really goes back to the Samaritan too. Like, if you're giving things to other people and then getting mad at them for them not returning any kind of appreciation, respect, whatever the case may be. And that's another thing. I just kind of got, like, I feel some of you guys feel disrespected in some way, in some area of your life. But anyways, so if you're like getting mad at them because they're not returning any kind of respect or appreciation or telling you thank you or show any kind of like gratitude for the things that you do, then at some point, if you keep doing it, that's kind of on you, because you know by now the response that you're going to get. So at some point, you have to take responsibility and say, I'm not going to do this anymore because it doesn't make me happy and I'm not getting anything for it, right? Like, I'm not getting anything out of it other than getting pissed off. You know what I mean? So, and obviously they don't appreciate me, they don't value me enough, or they don't respect me enough. So why am I continuing to do this? And that's where kind of like the boundaries thing comes back in. So, all right, the next card that you guys have is Trust the Niggle. What is the niggling feeling trying to tell you? Yep. Yeah, so this is definitely about trusting yourself, pile number 3. This is definitely about self-trust, trusting your gut. You know, I feel like maybe, you know, you've been really trying to tell yourself something for a long time now, and maybe you've kind of been ignoring it for some of you. This is definitely a little bit more of an intense reading, and you're really getting shown how to love yourself, and that's not an easy process. You know, it's not an easy process, but it is possible. It really, really is possible. You just have to be willing to face the darker aspects of yourself. You have to be willing to face your fears, your shadow, you know, your different addictions, you know, the different ways that you give power to other people. Okay, so we have Mama Quosha, water. We also have Yi, I think that's how you say it, the sun. Okay, so this is definitely healing energy, definitely healing, sun and water. So yeah, so like the sun can dry the water up, right? Or make the water hot. I definitely feel like this is healing energy, and this right next to this, I feel like it's telling you to trust your intuition, to trust your gut feelings about something. Pile number 3. And then also with the sun, once again, it kind of goes into that visionary aspect, seeing the bigger picture, being able to find the confidence within, being able to understand your own confidence, understand your own power within. Okay, so we have the fire element reversed. We have Pluto transformation. Surprise, surprise. We also have lunar eclipse change. Wow, okay. We actually have a lunar eclipse coming up soon. This is interesting. So with the fire element reversed and even the sun here, it's kind of like either the spark's been put out with something, there's like no desire to do something and it's been keeping you trapped, and that is going to get resolved during this Venus retrograde and definitely get transformed for you. But this is definitely about finding your inner power with Pluto here and facing your fears. Okay, this is definitely about that. It's also about finding the courage to do that as well. Okay, it's definitely about finding the courage to do that. And this is going to create a lot of change for you. This is going to be like a whole new beginning for you guys. It's going to be amazing, honestly, with this lunar eclipse here. This lunar eclipse coming up is probably going to be very, very powerful for you guys. I believe it's in June. So we have blessings, power. What did I say? We also have forgiveness. Yup. And we also have opportunity. Beautiful. Okay, so yeah, forgiveness big time. And that's what I see. That's what I saw there in your tarot cards. It's like you're forgiving something from the past, and I think it's somebody else, but for some of you it may just be a situation in the past that is going to help you move on and transform and find your power, which is going to create a lot of blessings and opportunity for you. Okay, it's going to help open the doors for you. It's going to help you trust yourself more. It's going to help you completely transform and to find your own power. Okay, like that's so huge. So this is such an awesome reading. You guys are this Venus retrograde is definitely teaching you what love truly is and how to love yourself from within. Hopefully this resonated. Let me know down below, and we're going to move on to pile number 4. What's up, pile number 4? This is for those of you that picked the 4th pile with the stone dream on it. So let's go ahead and get into your reading. So with the stone dream here, I'm getting that you guys this Venus retrograde for you guys is probably going to have a lot to do with inspiration, with actually walking the talk is what I'm getting here. Not just fantasizing about things, not just like thinking about all the things that you want to do, but actually doing them, actually manifesting, physically manifesting what it is that you want to do. I also feel like this is about focusing more, and this is about kind of going back to maybe an old dream that you had in the past, or an old desire that you had in the past, like an old goal that you had for yourself, an old wish that you wanted. This may be bringing something back from the past that you really, really wanted to do, but maybe you lost passion for, you lost motivation for, or something just happened and you never got to really go after it. I also feel like for some of you, this is a little like, detailed, but I feel for some of you it has something to do with like writing a book or a blog or something to do with writing. I think some of you guys may possibly be going back to an old project that you wanted to work on, but something may have happened or you may have never finished it. I also feel like a lot of you may be kind of like procrastinators or people that start a lot of things but never finish them. And so Venus retrograde is going to bring some of that up for you in order for you to address it so you can actually express yourself creatively, because I really get that something that you guys have wanted to do for a long time but never did is actually going to be really, really beneficial for you. Now, I also get that some of you guys are that are single are really, really wanting to be in a relationship, and you've been like really wanting a relationship for a long time, and you're wondering if you're going to probably meet someone during this Venus retrograde, and you might, but they may not be exactly how you thought they were. And I'm not exactly sure what that means just yet, so we'll see if that comes up in the cards. Now, I'm also getting for some of you guys that are in a relationship that if you're with someone already, that you really have a lot of things that you want, and this person may not be, they may not actually like be exactly what you want, if that makes sense. Or you're starting to really think about what you want long term, and maybe there's some things with this person that is kind of like, I don't know, you're kind of unsure of. You're kind of unsure if it's going to last long term. But that's just what I'm getting intuitively. Remember, this is a general reading, so not every little thing may resonate. So let's see what the cards have to say. Okay, so the first card that you guys have is the Ace of Cups. You guys also have the Eight of Swords. You also have the Two of Swords. And you also have the 10 of Pentacles. Wow. Hey, wow, beautiful. Right off the bat here with the Ace of Cups and the Eight of Swords, there's something that, like I was saying, there's something that you've wanted emotionally so bad. For some of you, it's a relationship or some kind of even emotional connection. Some of you guys are feeling very alone right now, or unloved, or something along those lines. You're kind of feeling like you don't know who to trust, or you're feeling like you really want something really bad, but you're not sure if you're going to get it. You're unsure about it. You're not very sure of yourself right now. You're feeling a little bit low on self-worth. You're feeling, for some of you, I'm getting that you're feeling betrayed, or feeling like you're closed off, if that makes sense. Or maybe someone else is closed off and this is making you feel like you should close off. Whichever one it is, this is a general reading, so it's going to resonate with different ones of you. But like I was saying, there's something that you really want, but you feel almost trapped by it. Like you're not sure how to go about to get it. You're not sure which way to go or how to do it, or how it's going to work out, or what kind of conversation you need to have to get there. And for some of you, this is love related. And for some of you, this is like dream or creative project kind of related. You feel like you're trapped by your emotions, but actually you're trapped by your thoughts. Your thoughts are what is trapping you, because you're not actually trapped. The Eight of Swords is never actually trapped, okay? You're too focused on like trying to make everybody else happy, I feel like, for some of you, to where you're not happy. And for some of you, you're comparing your kind of like down moments to other people's success. And you're very unsure of kind of like what to do to get to your 10 of Pentacles, to get to your like stability, your material life, all of that. For some of you, it's important that you may like ask for help from your ancestors. Or for some of you, you're conflicted about family as well. And this could be like your actual family, like your blood family, or this could be like your family that you've created, you know, by marriage or whatever the case may be. But yeah, there's like this feeling of being trapped, of not knowing how to get to what you want. There's like this emotional desire that you have, that you feel very strong about. There's this thing that you want, this passion, this just love that you have. But the Eight of Swords is like, you feel trapped. You feel alone. You feel like it didn't turn out the way that you thought it would, or something. And for some of you, you're not sure which way to go to get to your happy ending. So hopefully that's resonating with you guys so far. But let's go ahead and see what other cards that you have. Okay, so for your energy, we have the Firefly. And for your opposing energy, or the other person's energy, we have the Lion. Okay, so when dealing with the firefly is kind of flaky. The firefly is super, super bright, so it's got this light. So I really feel like you guys have this light. You guys have this beautiful inspiration, this beautiful light within you to shine, but the light doesn't last long, so you have to act on it. When this inspiration hits, you have to act on it instead of like doubting yourself or, you know, having like negative self-talk or comparing your own creative ideas or inspirations to others, or comparing how you feel to basically, you know, the bigger picture, or thinking that you're not enough, okay? Because that's kind of what I'm getting here. It's like this feeling of not being enough, whether it's a creative project, a relationship, whatever the case may be. So with the firefly, it's important to act on your inspiration, to act on your feelings, to express your feelings instead of going into this like negative mindset and judging your feelings and then being conflicted and torn and starting this like conflict within yourself. For some of you guys, you may be feeling trapped in like a love situation, and you may feel like it's kind of dulling your light and you're not sure what to do. You're not sure about your future with this person. Now, the lion could be representing your opposing energy that's like basically that you need to integrate. For those of you that are single, and then I'll get to those of you guys that are in a relationship in a minute, but for those of you that are single, this could definitely mean that you need to embrace more patience, more courage, more confidence, okay? Definitely. And then also that you don't to not waste your energy on thoughts that are not getting you anywhere, or not to compare yourself to others if that's what you're doing. Now, if this is a person, then this person you could feel like is better than you or acts better than you, or they seem like they're, you know, really stable and they're probably like very good looking or whatever the case may be, or they seem very strong and they even seem like they're a good friend or that they're very loyal, or something. Or it could be the opposite, because I didn't shuffle these in reverse, so just keep that in mind. For some of you, it could be the exact opposite and that could be your issue. But yeah, there could just be this difference, and like they may seem very confident while you are, you know, not very confident, if that makes sense. And I think Venus retrograde is going to show you what it is that you truly want, okay? What it is that you truly wish for, what it is that you truly want. Because right now I think that you're conflicted on what you want your future to look like. Okay, and also it's going to show you how you can start making your dreams come true. So the next card that you guys have is the Scribe reversed, which is the shadow attribute. So it says altering facts or plagiarizing others' work. So I don't necessarily think that you guys are like probably plagiarizing others' work, but I do take this as some of you guys are writers or just creators or artists in some way. And for some of you guys, this definitely is about your dream, your creative expression, all of that, and less about relationships. But I do still think that for some of you, this is about relationships. So you may be feeling stuck in your creative expression, your creative endeavors, like we talked about, because when you get this inspiration, you don't act on it. You know, tell yourself like, oh, or you wait too long, and then you tell yourself like, oh, that's not gonna work, or, you know, well, what about what this person's doing, or what if no one likes it, or whatever the case may be. And you get into like this negative self-talk and this self-doubt, and it really brings you down. And so I think, you know, in a way you are altering the facts, because the fact is that you're inspired, but yet you're like sitting here projecting in your head about why you shouldn't be inspired and why it's not going to work. And then you feel stuck in this continuous cycle. So this card is going to represent your opposing energy or your partner or whoever it is that you may be dealing with. And we have the prostitute, which is about accentuating the challenge of surviving without negotiating the power of your spirit. So yeah, once again, you know, this really goes into this feeling of being trapped. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're a prostitute. It's more just about the energy of it, of not giving your power away. Okay, and I feel like that's kind of what you're doing, and of like owning your confidence and owning your courage. Okay. And like I said, some of you guys like could definitely be writers or creators, artists, whatever. But it's not breaking your spirit, okay? Like not continuing to put yourself down, and with like by negotiating the power of your spirit, just like it says. Okay, like continuing, and the Two of Swords is negotiating. Like, what are you negotiating of yourself that you actually truly want in order to get this like future vision that you have? You have to like stay in your own power. You have to stay in your own confidence. And that's what this Venus retrograde is bringing up for you guys. Sorry if it's getting a little bit dark in here. The sun's starting to go down. Okay, so your next card is going beyond normal. So I definitely feel like you guys are creators, writers. I'm really getting like a lot of writing energy here. But I mean, it could just be, you know, through technology, or you could be just content creators or even artists or something. Like you do something, creative. But going beyond normal. So this is about, you know, coming up with like abnormal ideas, okay? Going beyond the realm of normal, not trying to fit in, not trying to negotiate your own inspiration, your own uniqueness to make other people happy. Like, you know, not trying to fit into what's normal or what's trendy. This is about going beyond that, okay? And standing out. And that's what's going to make you different. That's what's going to, you know, get your dream out there and to get you out there and to make you successful without having to negotiate your own creative ideas or your own creative talent and keeping yourself trapped, if that makes sense. Okay, so your next card is you're already doing it. Stop overthinking. Keep facing your true north. There you go. So definitely stop overthinking. And then we have Lemuria, creating heaven on earth. It's happening. Okay. So yeah, this is definitely about like you already have this gift within you. You may already be working on something, but maybe you're really overthinking it, or you've hit like a weird point where you feel creatively blocked, but you're doing it to yourself. That's the thing here. Or you're like trading in how good it could be to make it normal or to make it less, you know what I mean, less great, because you think like, oh, well, people aren't going to like this, or whatever the case may be. Now, if this is a relationship for some of you, then I feel like, you know, it's important once again to go beyond this normal realm of thinking in this relationship. So we have first house, the body. We have sixth house, routine. We have moon, the soul. And then we have Saturn return, age. Okay. Yeah, so this is telling you to get disciplined, to get out of your head and to just do shit. To just do shit, to be more physical. Okay, quit worrying so much about what you look like or what other people are going to think of you. To get physical, to get in a routine, to trust your intuition and your creative ideas, your emotion, all of that. Now, I feel like you guys are like really repressing your creative ideas in a way, or even your emotions in a way if this is relationship based. You may be like negotiating your own feelings, like shoving down your own feelings to make someone else happy, or not telling them the truth when maybe they would be okay with it, something along those lines. So let's see what else you have. I'm really getting that this is more towards like creativity, which Venus is also about. So that's kind of what I'm getting here. But for some of you guys, it could still definitely be a relationship where you may be kind of like almost dimming your light. That's kind of what I'm getting here. It's almost like you're dimming your light to fit in, whether it's a relationship or a creative endeavor, and not trusting like your own inspiration, your own heart, your own love. Okay, so your next card is wonders. We also have change. See, it's kind of like you want this change, like you want this thing, like you sit here and wonder about it, you daydream about it, you fantasize about it, but you're not taking any action to get there. You're just in your head about it, you know? Yep, we have Artemis, focus. Then we also have Shakti, transformation. So yes, this is all about, so Venus is bringing you back into focus about what's important and what isn't, pile number 4. That's what Venus retrograde is really doing for you, I feel here. It's showing you once again, like it's bringing you back into focus. Okay, and it's helping you to be more patient with yourself. It's also helping you to quit negotiating, to quit dimming down your own gifts, your own talents, yourself for other people, or comparing yourself to others. Quit negotiating your own spirit for other people, because you have something special, you have something different, and it's important that you accept your own uniqueness, like, because that's what makes you different. That's what's going to make you stand out. That's what's going to make you successful. So trying to dim it down, or, you know, give it away, or like whatever the case may be, negotiate it, is what's keeping you trapped in this feeling, whether it's a relationship or a creative project. So that's what I'm getting for you guys, pile number 4. Definitely let me know down below if this ended up resonating with you. I'd love to know, as always. Please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. It really, really helps me out. If you're new here, make sure to turn on notifications so you get notified when I upload. And yeah, I will see you guys in my other videos. Thank you so much for watching this video. Bye.